Mr. Simmons, this is your sister who you're suing because you say that she buried your mother in a grave that you purchased almost 30 years ago.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So let me hear the story.
Okay, years ago, me and my brother were very close. He's 1 year, 1 week behind me. It was always our intentions that whoever died first would purchase the grave and we would be buried together.
Just a second. According to your papers, sir, your brother died in 1969. That's almost 30 years ago.
That's correct.
How old was your brother when he died?
24.
And so you're telling me that you and your brother, you were at that time a year apart. So you were 24, he was 25, or you were?
I was 25. I'm the oldest out of 7.
You're the oldest. So at that age, at age 25, you and your brother talked about dying?
No, we didn't talk about dying.
Well, you had to talk about dying if you talked about where you wanted to be buried together.
Well,
that you wanted to be buried together.
We talked about going into business together. And
going into business is not dying.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes it's dying. But, Mr. Simmons, are those prescription glasses, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Mr. Simmons, are you telling me that 30 years ago, you talked to your brother about where the two of you wanted to be buried?
That's correct.
All right, I'm waiting for the rest of the story. Go ahead.
Okay. So our agreement was whoever died first would buy the grave, and we either be buried side by side or on top. We also agreed that whoever died first, one would carry the other one's first name as their middle name. In 1969, on August the 30th, my brother was shot and killed. He died in my arms. It devastated me. When we paid for the funeral, there wasn't enough money to buy his grave, but it was always our agreement, our oral agreement, that I would buy the grave. I bought the grave and had it dug extra deep. In February of
Why did you have it dug extra deep?
Well, because there wasn't any plot left for me to purchase by his side. So we had to dug extra depth so that when my time comes, I will be buried in that same grave.
Okay, can I see the proof of that purchase, sir?
Yes. There you have Exhibit 1. You have a check. That's not the check, but it was a check that was wrote upon, that I wrote upon, and that's my receipt.
What? I have a blank check here.
Yes, well, that's not the check, but it was wrote on the check. It's similar to that.
I'm not interested in this. It's a blank check. Sir, are you telling me that this receipt is a receipt that you kept for 30 years?
The God's faith, yes, 30 years.
This piece of paper you've had in your possession for 30 years?
30 years.
Very well preserved for a 30-year piece of paper. Go ahead.
In February, my mother passed. My sister buried our mother in that grave plot without my permission. Now, she knew that me and my brother was very close, and that our agreement was that we'd be buried together. Mm-hmm. Now, she received money from the insurance company, plus, well, here's a chiller in the thriller. She went to my dad and got $2,500 from him, telling him that there wasn't enough money to buy our mother's grave. So he gave her $2,500.
This is a bill for $346 that you just gave me on this well-preserved piece of paper. $346. You're suing her for $1,739.14.
Because that's what this grave would cost today. Here's my receipt. That's what that same grave would cost today.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, whether that's what it costs today, you had this grave dug extra deep, and what you're suing for is really an emotional situation where you say you can never be buried now next to your brother or on top of your brother because they used the grave. So whatever it is, you would have to purchase a different plot anyway. So.
It is not fair. If I drop dead right now, I would have to go and buy a grave.
No, you wouldn't. Not unless you found some magic, sir. Somebody else would have to do it.